Hey, it's BTO Pro here. I'm going to show a module today I wrote to do some cache seeding in a interesting little way. So what we've got here is XMLRPC page load, which can work in conjunction with HTTPRL Spider to basically give you a way of requesting your site without having to do a full page delivery. So this is a cache warming technique that will allow you to basically warm the cache as a certain user. This is important for sites that you can't actually just hit from the front end. A lot of cache warming techniques basically spider your site or crawl on a sitemap, which is what HTTPRL Spider does. Basically queues up all the nodes and then requests them. Well, if you don't have a publicly available site, that doesn't really do anything for you. So XMLRPC basically is simulating a request for the page as the user ID in question. So this is useful in conjunction with Drush. It uses a private key value to allow it to basically log in as someone and then deliver a fake page to itself. And so it's not really delivering the page anywhere. So let's just briefly look at what the project does. So you see we have a hook XMLRPC, so we have a callback, and then we look for this private key value, or it's a secret in the site. So this is useful, especially in Drush, right? Drush has access to these. You're basically wrapping it around calling itself, but doing it in a secure manner. And then what a normal Drupal page load would do is do menu execute active handler, and it would pass in a path, right? This is your node 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kind of a thing. So what we've done is basically put a wrapper around these, and so instead of delivering the page, which is, this is what Drupal 7 at least is doing Drupal render page. We've got this print, and then that's terminating the connection, if you will. We're hiding that, but we're still calling the page rendering engine. So we're performing all the same things as if you went to the site, but you didn't actually go there. And so let's take a brief look at this in action. So I've got this test bed space here. Easiest way to illustrate this is clear all the caches on something and refresh, right? So I've got this page I requested. It's 405 queries, right? And the first, prime, it's 2 seconds, and we've got 27 megs. If I hit it again, it's a lot faster, right? We've got 75 queries now, 126 there, or 168 rather. So what we can do is we're going to clear all the caches again. And we saw a rather marked improvement there, right? And then we're going to run this, which is HTTPRL simulating user 1 accessing node 3, basically. And so we'll run that, and then you see XMLRPC page response, node 3 loaded successfully. So there's not actually returning anything, it's just saying, yeah, I did it. And so hit refresh now, and you'll see instead of a unprimed cache hit that had 400 plus queries that needed executed, that now when I refresh was 179 queries and 400 milliseconds. Now this isn't doing the exact same thing as if you hit it, but it's getting a lot of the caches pre-populated. And then again, if I do the additional request, yeah, we're fine. What you can do with this, if you have a site of a certain size, is then I can do HSS, which is the self-spidering function. And so now it's going to do an XMLRPC request on every entity that's in the system. I'm going to pause that because I just want to do nodes for the purposes of this demonstration. And so we'll just do nodes. And I have like 10 nodes in this, so it's not a big deal. 14. So you can imagine setting up a spider. Maybe it requests, hey, hit all my pages, but they're locked away, right? This is an authenticated site. We can still seed all the caches so that now as I go around everything, it's like I've already been there. Right? I haven't gone to these pages. Right? But you can see this is already primed pretty darn quick. I believe the parts that aren't primed currently have to do with like advanced aggregates because I have those projects turned on. But we can test this again on, we'll just throw in any random piece of material here, go back to here and do a d@. Courses.sing 100 cc all. All right, so we've got this page. Wait for it to clear all the caches, and then we'll do a hiss against node. Have it request all the pages. so we already hit node 7. So now if I hit refresh, see there was, again, we're at 161 instead of the, crushing blow of a 2-second page load. So this shaved 1.4 seconds off page load for an authenticated user 1 because you're priming a lot of those caches ahead of time. Very useful in the instance of something like the system we're working on, where you have a auth cache in place where you're trying to do as much of the page caching as you can prior to someone actually getting there. So we've got this hooked into a spider at night now that will prime certain web requests to get kicked off, so we can kind of just blow away all of our caches nightly and then repopulate all of them. And again, it's not going to get everything, but it's going to do a lot of the heavier lifting, if you will, that was going to bloat up that initial page load, so that second one is even faster.